What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Bourbon Buzzed and Ballin podcast. We are your hosts, Kolby and Dut, and this is our podcast about sports and, of course, bourbon. And we have changed the format just a little bit. Yeah, we've gone from really talking for a long amount of time to breaking this thing up. We had a little feedback from our listeners, and they asked that we put more content out there and maybe talk a little less.
Yeah, just shorten the episodes a little bit.
We can be a little verbose, but we like to talk. I like to hear myself talk. You do too.
Absolutely.
And so what we've decided
and
to
the
do
more,
is
more bourbon I drink, the more I like to talk.
That's right. So now we're doing the bourbon part first. So we're a little tipsy at this point. So maybe the content might be a little bit edgier, maybe a little more lively. I don't know. We'll see.
Probably not.
But we've broken it up. We've already done our spot at the bar where we've rated some bourbon, and now we're here at the table to talk a little sports.
That's right. We did our opening toast over at the bar, and so what we're going to do here is we're going to come in with our scumbag of the week. Another one of our favorite little segments that we like to do each week. So for part 2 of the episode that airs on Fridays, we're going to start that with the scumbag of the week. Part 1, we start with our toast. Part 2, we're going to start with our scumbag.
It makes sense.
So, you want to go first on the scumbag?
Let me go first on the scumbag. I'm with respect to the World Cup, I'm going to go ahead and put Giovanni Reyna out there, the U.S. men's national team midfielder. The story came out, I guess, yesterday or what have you on the fact that he was kind of dogging it out in practice, wasn't giving full effort. He got called out by coaches, got called out by teammates, and he admitted to the fact that he was a little bit sad in the mouth because he wasn't named a starter. So he kind of pulled back a little bit. And
that's probably why he wasn't named a starter.
I mean,
because
I'm a
that's
little
a red
pissed.
flag. That's a red flag.
Yeah, I'm a little pissed about that, Giovanni, because there was a lot of talk in the media about why isn't Reyna getting playing time? Why isn't Reyna getting playing time? Well, this is why.
Yeah.
And so this is another example of why we as fans sometimes need to shut the hell up and quit, second guessing these coaches.
Right.
Because you're not, and I'm not.
Yeah,
Kobe's not. We're not privy to the inside
what's happening
info.
behind the scenes, exactly.
So Giovanni, you pissed me off because you were a player. And now you're only 20 years old.
Well, that's what I was going to say. He's only 20,
I know.
so there's still time for him to mature. I mean, 20's still young.
We had a great midfield though, so we were crushing it without him.
Right.
Still,
Well, he's we're going to be dependent on him over the next 8 years.
That's right. Well, the next 4 years he's got time to grow up.
Exactly. So if he doesn't, he won't even have a spot on the squad probably.
Nah, and we've watched him play enough. If you follow enough men's soccer, and Giovanni's going to be back. He's a good player. He's young. He's got good speed, so he's going to be back. And I'll certainly forgive you tomorrow. But you're my scumbag of the week today.
So you'll forgive him next week.
It might take a couple weeks.
All right. Well, my scumbag, and this just came out last night. This hot off the press, but. University of Texas men's basketball coach Chris Beard was arrested. He was put in jail about 2 a.m. Monday morning for an assault on a family member, impeding breath circulation. You don't put your hands on
and he's
lady.
The men's basketball
coach. They were number 2 ranked. Of course, they lost and fell, and that might be why he was pissed. I don't know. But, no, there's never an excuse for putting your hands on a lady. And, his lawyer came out and said that it was totally unjustified. And, the complainant wants him, immediately released and wants to drop all charges. And But, he's my scumbag of the week because, like I said, I don't believe you ever put your hands on a woman. Definitely don't put your hands around her neck and choke her.
Right, for sure.
So that's my scumbag is Chris Beard. I actually had a couple of honorable mentions also.
Who's your honorable mention? Throw them out there.
My first honorable mention is the roughing the passer penalty in the NFL. Did you watch the Sunday night football game last night?
Yeah, I did.
Did you see that beautiful sack
Yeah,
that Jalen Phillips had on.
Yeah, and
Herbert.
How's he supposed to fall with full momentum?
And they're gonna call that pass interference.
Yeah,
roughing the passer.
I'm telling you, the game is different. It's different. I'm not gonna say a lot of the rules aren't for the better because I've seen a lot of players who ordinarily might have been the end of their career, especially wide receivers.
Oh, absolutely.
But still yet. I mean, I think they're going to revisit this rule somewhat.
Yeah, they definitely. I mean, it's become a joke, and there's.
That was in front of his home crowd too.
Well,
he's a San Diego. He's a LA guy.
And absolutely. And it was a big momentum changer in that game. I mean, that one call possibly could have been what cost the Dolphins that game because they had them stopped.
I don't know. Tua's inaccuracy was another.
Yeah,
I mean, I know we're both big Tua guys, but this guy right here is a huge Tua guy. I'm surprised he ain't wearing his jersey with tears on it, but.
He can't seem to hit the broadside of a barn right now.
Man, I've never seen Tua that inaccurate. He was
actually, I think, less accurate last weekend, but yeah.
Really? I didn't see that one, but last night I was like, damn.
Of course, he had much better stats last week against the Niners than he did last night against the Chargers. And that's my second honorable mention is Bart Scott.
Bart Scott.
Because after the 49ers game, he was ripping the organization a new one, the Dolphins, for flying back to Miami, and then their internal clocks were going to get off again, and they're going to get adjusted back to Eastern Standard Time, and then they got to fly back out to California and play the Chargers. And this guy's on ESPN, gets paid. Miami didn't fly back home. They stayed in California all week. Do your homework, Bart.
He was doing his homework 5 minutes before the show.
Well, he looked like a dumbass.
He did look like a dumbass.
By saying,
I think he is a dumbass, though.
He actually, of all the guys on ESPN, he's one that how do I put this? Dislike the least?
Dislike the least, yeah. I don't know.
That was not a good look. He just went on and ranted and just looked foolish because he didn't know what he was talking about. So, the roughing the passer, they need to do something about that. They need to fix that this summer after the season's over.
It's definitely a work in progress. I'm gonna say.
I know the quarterback is your face of the franchise.
But it's out of hand, man. It's out of hand, and especially. Well, going forward, the game changes so much. I think we need to dedicate a show to during the off season about the officiating because the total officiating, and that goes from college all the way to the NFL, is just horrendous. It's horrible.
It has, and it seems like it gets worse every year.
It does. It's horrible.
I almost was going to make football referees or officials my scumbag of the week, but of course, when Chris Beard did what he did, that pretty much sealed it for me there. But
we should have a scumbag of the year.
Oh yeah,
let's take all of our scumbags and then decide out of all of them who's our scumbag of the year.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know if we'll be able to narrow it down to just one.
I don't know.
We've had a lot of scummy bags out there.
Yes, we have.
All right, well, let's get off the scumbags and let's come in hot and talk about some current things. We were just talking about the NFL. A couple things happening in the NFL right now. The Titans fired their GM, John Robinson, which that surprised me a little bit. They first place. They were the number one seed in the conference last year, but I don't know. There again, like you said a little while ago, we're not privy to what's going on behind the scenes.
Right.
So who knows what happened there?
I don't know. I think he quite possibly lost his job over the off season. Really.
Yeah.
Losing A.J. Brown and Treylon Burks has been injured the whole season. I think Burks is quite possibly, I don't want to call him a plug-in,
right.
But when he has played,
they're very similar.
He has been productive for a rookie. Similar. So I think the lack of the passing game has really caused trouble with their bell cow. They are known for Derrick Henry,
right.
And without D. Henry breaking loose, they don't stand a chance.
He actually, it's funny you mentioned A.J. Brown because he got fired the morning after AJ's big game
Right,
for the
yeah.
Eagles. So it's kind of like the owner was like,
Against the Titans, wasn't it? Wasn't that his comeback coming home against the Titans?
It might have been.
I think it was.
It might have been. But
Seems
yeah,
like-
I think the owner was like, he should be doing that for us, not Philadelphia. So.
Yeah, no, I think definitely the A.J. Brown move is where he lost his job for sure.
Yeah, Desmond Ridder is taking over for Marcus Mariota in Atlanta.
That wasn't
So,
a shock.
Nah.
Wasn't a shock.
And I mean, Marcus has got a little bit of a knee issue, might go on IR, but the coach said this is performance based. So it's.
I mean, I think Marcus Mariota is one of them fringe starters. Might be just a fantastic backup to have on your team for sure. You can plug and play him a game here, a game there,
right.
but over a stretch of games,
it's
nah.
Nick Foles.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just give him the keys to the franchise.
Ah,
but
damn.
he can fill in and do some things for you.
Ritter's built. He's built for the NFL game too. I mean, he's got some nice size.
Who?
Ritter.
Oh, okay.
Got some nice size.
Yeah. He's
he got
a little
some,
thin.
Yeah, he's
He
a
needs to
little
fill out a
thin,
little
but
bit,
he'll
but-
fill out. I don't know what his age. I think he's a little bit older. He was a little older when he came into the league. But,
he stayed.
he's got a
he stayed in
decent
Cincinnati
arm, not an
for-
overwhelmingly strong arm, but a good arm, good legs.
Right.
Had Cincinnati into the playoffs, so
Which was
he
a hell
obviously
of an
is a winner
accomplishment.
for sure. Yeah. So I don't blame the Falcons, which ironically, I mean the NFC South. It's crazy.
I know.
It's crazy.
The Panthers are right back in it.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of why I transitioned it that way. Let's talk about the Panthers a minute. Let's talk about Steve Wilkes.
Okay.
4-4 since he took over the interim tab.
Right.
He's got his team playing good football, smash mouth football. They are running the ball the way Matt Rule said they were going to do, but didn't. And Wilkes is running a three-headed monster in the backfield.
Yeah.
If you fantasy-wise, if you have one of their running backs,
You weren't happy yesterday.
You got to be miserable. So, but from an NFL standpoint, you got fresh
Keep 'em
legs
fresh.
coming in, and the Panthers are running all over the people.
Yeah. I mean, they beat a good team yesterday. I mean,
They did
Seattle,
beat a good team at Seattle.
And they actually, they didn't do my fantasy team any good, but they did my Giants good because
Right, they helped.
the
your
Giants
team
are still in
for
the
sure.
playoff. Even though that's a whole nother topic.
We'll talk about that.
I don't think they're going to be in the playoffs, but yeah. So they knocked Seattle down a notch. So right now, it's the three wild card teams are the three NFC East teams.
That was
named the Eagles.
And that was their first. The Panthers. That was their first dub on the road since Cam Newton won at Arizona.
Yeah.
On his first game back with Carolina. So it's been a long
and that's
time.
that's one of the hardest road games to win is
Sure.
in Seattle because that place is loud. You got to go across the country. So yeah, it was the Panthers are playing some good ball. That's why we kept saying they're not going to be. It's going to be a quick fix with the Panthers.
Sure, yeah, they got the building
I
blocks.
mean, they still got a chance of winning the division this year.
One game back,
Yep.
and they got a 2-week or a January matchup with Tampa Bay.
Right.
And they're only, like I said, they're only one game back. I tell you one last thing on the Panthers. Steve Wilkes' post-game press conference, he kind of called out Tepper
Did he?
in his
I
press
didn't-
game
I didn't
conference.
see it.
He mentioned, he alluded, he was talking about all the adversity. He was proud of his team, and all of his press game or pregame and postgame conferences or pressers, they're so inspiring. I mean, the dude he's inspiring. I think his players love him. But he was talking about how the Carolina Panthers organization had sold out. They were tanking. He alluded to them tanking. Now, he's come out today and said that was taken out of context. But I think he was kind of taking a shot at Tepper because he probably doesn't have a chance at the job.
Right.
Which I think is horse shit.
Right.
Because David Tepper wants an offensive guy. But we could sit here and talk right now about how all these offensive guys are doing in the NFL.
They're offensive.
It's good. That's good. They're very offensive. But the thing about NFL is the offenses always get the leg up for a year or 2 year there, but the defenses catch up.
Yep.
I like Wilkes. He's a defensive guy. Smash mouth offense, defense. I think you can win in this NFL that way. I disagree.
Well, that's what this time of year and the playoffs, you've got to be able to play defense and run the ball.
It gets cold by playoff time. You're right.
Yeah, I mean,
you're right.
Up in Buffalo next weekend, it's going to be snowing, 7 inches of snow on the ground. You think Tyreek and Waddle for the Dolphins are going to be able to just run all them pass routes?
Got to be able to ground and pound, man.
You
when you go into Buffalo,
you got to be
going to Buffalo
and that's what
in December and January. You're not going to throw the ball all over the field.
And that's what makes Philadelphia so dangerous.
Yeah,
because they can do it all. And I mean, they
MVP front runner. I mean, he looks great. He looks great.
He looks
Philly
in complete control. Nothing flusters that young man. He is even keel,
cool and calm, man.
Yeah, never gets.
He even said that in his interview on the field. You see his depends on which NFL show you watch,
right?
But no, Philly is so freaking balanced, man. And they get Jordan Davis back.
Yeah.
Did he come back yesterday?
I didn't notice him yesterday.
When they get Davis back, they're going to be plugging up the run game.
I noticed Sue a lot. He was very active against Saquon in the running game. But I mean, you could just see. That's what I wasn't even really upset that they were beating the hell out of the Giants like they were, because you could just see the difference in talent level between the two rosters. It just,
I mean, they're skilled at every level, especially with, my propensity to forget names. Who's their running back?
Oh, Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders is killing it.
Yeah. And then they got Boston that can come in.
Yeah, and then you got Jalen, the run game with Jalen, and then you got that pass game with Brown and Slim.
I mean, you take away the run, they're going to beat you with the pass. You take away the pass, they're going to beat you with the run.
Defensively, they're talented at all levels.
Oh yeah, they got Slay and Bradbury, at the corners.
The NFL is like I can't figure it out. I mean, the Cowboys look like shit.
I mean, one week you think, okay, the Cowboys are a team to beat. Then they go and play the Houston Texans and got lucky.
Almost laid an egg.
I mean, it's stupid play calling by the Texans when they had 1st and goal, where they could have put the game away.
Right.
And just poor play selection down there at the goal line. And then Dallas takes over down there at the 2, and they're able to go the whole length of the field and get their own 2-yard touchdown run from Zeke to win the game.
Yeah.
But
I got Bills, Chiefs, and Eagles, man. They're just, to me, that's the 3 that are just head and shoulders better.
I'm not going to sleep on San Fran.
Well, I'm not. I mean, I was sleeping on them until the end of the game yesterday. I think they can win with Purdy because their defense is just that good.
And they got 2-headed running game with McCaffrey and that other kid.
But they did probably lose Debo for the rest of the regular season.
It looked worse than I think. They're saying it's probably a high ankle sprain that he'll probably miss the rest of the regular season, but he should be back for the playoffs. But I thought it was an ACL.
I know,
the way he got rolled up like that, which I hated to see. And then you could tell how emotional he was when they were carting him off.
Right, which made me think that it was definitely season ending.
Yeah,
and I still won't rule that out. As emotional as he was.
When they said it was an ankle instead of a knee, I think, like I said, I think that is a better diagnosis for him. So,
right, no structural issues. So
right, so that's I think it's just going to be a high ankle sprain, and depending on I don't know if he's going to have the what's it called, rubber band surgery or
whatever that rubber band, that high ankle sprain surgery.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to opt for the surgery or just let it heal itself. But hopefully he'll be back for the playoffs because like I said, when that team with McCaffrey and Debo and Ayuk and Kittle and that defense, I mean,
Purdy just throwing
Yeah,
it
I mean,
around.
Purdy doesn't have to.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't have to go out there and win it. He just doesn't. He just needs to make sure he doesn't lose it.
Yep. Defensively, they're geared to make a run in the playoffs for sure.
And like we talked last week, Purdy's got the perfect head coach to put him in a position to win. So
Unfortunately for San Fran, though, they're going to be on the road for their playoffs a lot. So.
Well, but defense and running games travel.
That's true. Said that.
Yeah.
We said
Passing games don't always travel, but defense and running games will travel.
Incidentally, Brandon Graham is up to 8.5 sacks on the season. I don't know if you remember in one of our early episodes, I said he's a guaranteed 10 sacker, and you laughed like he's doing now. 8.5 sacks. He had 3 yesterday.
Oh, so yeah, he wasn't on pace.
PG. Anyway, let's roll. That's enough football.
Well,
That's
enough pro football. We got to at least mention Mr. Caleb Williams winning the Heisman. And Mr. Max Dugan finishes second. Mad Max.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about the Heisman, man. I'm still a little bit pissed about, a couple of omissions.
Yeah,
from New York.
I still think Blake.
Yeah, that was unfair to Hendon Hooker.
Hendon should have been there. He should have been in New York. He actually won the fans.
I know.
Heisman.
I know, and Corum had the stats to be there.
Yeah, just because they got hurt late in the year.
Yeah,
so,
that was some BS.
Stetson didn't deserve to be there.
No, not over Hooker. I mean, not even over Blake Corum.
What did Corum finish? Did he finish behind Bryce at 7?
Yeah, he finished one spot below Bryce. I think
because Bryce was 6, Hooker was 5, Bryce was 6.
Bryce had 17 votes, and I think Corum had 8, something like that. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, I think Caleb Williams. I mean, the Heisman was so up for grabs this year.
It was.
Caleb Williams.
He peaked at the right time.
He won it at the end, and I mean, it's hard to argue. And I mean, look at I can't remember his name. Who's the coach?
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley. Why do I forget these names, man? Lincoln Riley, man. His track record on Heisman quarterbacks is
impressive.
It's crazy. So I mean, wouldn't surprise me that he'll win back to back.
But it doesn't equate to necessarily the pro game.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No.
Kyler, the jury's out on him. Baker, the jury has deliberated, and he's definitely.
I don't know. He showed some life. Anyway, no, and clearly it doesn't translate to national championships.
Right. Well, and if there wasn't so much other stuff going on this week, I was actually considering Baker as my toast this week for that.
And Darnold, Sam Darnold,
for that comeback win.
2-0.
I would still take Darnold over Baker at this point.
Yeah, I like him, but I thought Baker looked good.
I mean, for only being there for 48 hours, and
he looked kind of comfortable. He looked good in the Rams, so we'll see how that goes.
There again, he's with a coach that.
That's right. He's with a
can put him in a position to succeed. But
I tell you what, though, I really feel like he would do well in Wilkes' offense with play action. Because he's a play-action quarterback.
Right.
And them running it like they are, I mean, he would have done really good in that offense. But I like Darnold, too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think Darnold, there's still an opportunity for Darnold to eke out a decent pro career. I think Baker's still going to be a career backup.
I mean, I think, in terms of Darnold goes, I think the Panthers are definitely going to move forward with Darnold. But I still say they draft quarterback.
Well, yeah, and that got
with their first choice.
Matt Corral also.
Yeah, true.
That they can still try to develop. But did you hear about Mike Leach?
I did.
That was sad. He had a massive heart attack, and they still say he's not through it.
Right. He's in ICU.
Yeah, I mean he's great for college football.
He is. He's great for Mississippi State for sure.
And you can really see how much he is loved in the industry with all the people that are coming out. With text messages and this and that, and
Yeah,
everybody really wants the best for him.
He's definitely one of my favorites to listen to
he's a character.
because he's just different.
Yeah,
just different. So we're praying for you.
Coach, please get better, and we hope to see you back on the Mississippi State sidelines.
That's right.
So, what else is going on? Transfer portal is full effect. Texas A&M is leading the way with 20 already signed up for the portal, and that includes 4 from last year's.
That's right.
Highest ranked recruiting class. A couple of 5-stars. I think they had quite a few 4-stars in there.
Jimbo is a hot mess, man. I got a whole section on Jimbo that I wanted to talk about, but mostly, it was just the fact that, Jim, I don't know what it is about Jimbo. I mean, he got lucky and won a natty with the right dominoes in place at Florida State with Jameis Winston and some other pieces to that puzzle. But, I mean, he has always been notoriously weak up front in the trenches wherever he goes.
He likes that flash.
He does, man. He can't. He doesn't understand that you build from within.
Yeah, well, and he actually, and some of those that are transferring out were 4-star offensive and defensive linemen.
Yeah, exactly. He had 2 4-stars and 2 3-star OLs from last year's massive 30 commitment class. Mm-hmm. So that's woefully inadequate considering where A&M was, because A&M has absolutely blown A-Chain's career. Because tell me A-Chain right now behind, Georgia's O-line, Bama's O-line, Michigan's O-line, that's a Heisman winner.
Oh, yeah.
A-Chain
he's unstoppable.
So, I think, and Jimbo, apparently Bobby Petrino's number 1 on his list as an OC, because he's finally realizing that offense has passed him up. His offense is so vanilla, so boring, so predictable.
Of course, let's add more shit show to this shit show. Bringing in Bobby Petrino.
Better hide your motorcycles and
your secretaries,
and hide your female grad assistants when Petrino comes to town. I'm kind of glad, because I absolutely have never liked Jimbo Fisher. I really have always felt he's overrated. Maybe some of that was because of a little animosity towards Florida State, but still, Jimbo to me is a joke, and he is not. I mean, he's been the worst coach since Sherman was at A&M, and they fired. I can't remember his name. What's Mike?
Francione?
No. Anyway, they fired a couple of good coaches.
Wasn't Frank?
Dennis Francione was there.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the coach that I was thinking about. But Jimbo, he's gonna get run out. But it's fine for Jimbo because he's got a big buyout.
Yeah. Who cares? At this point, he probably would prefer not have to deal with all the headache and just take his $100 million and ride off into the sunset. Maybe he can hop on the back of Petrino's motorcycle and they can
maybe he'll
go for a ride.
Saban's rebuild school of coaching.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah, we need a OC, but not Jimbo. Your time is done in college football. Your offense is garbage, man.
I tell you, one thing that surprised me was Keyshawn Boutte. Is going back to LSU for another year. That surprised me.
He's been mocked in the first round.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that based on
the
on-field performance, but for sure, I definitely was shocked by that. I think LSU's definitely got some momentum.
Right. Well, there was some of the opt-outs starting to announce for the college bowls. So some of the bigger names, you got Will Levis at Kentucky, Anthony Richardson. So that's 2 of the quarterbacks, the bigger name quarterbacks that have opted out so far. Jackson Smith in Jigba. I think we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
Josh Downs, wide receiver from UNC. They've both opted out. Michael Mayer, Notre Dame's tight end.
Yeah.
Drew Sanders,
Arkansas
linebacker. He's opted out. Joey Porter Jr., with Penn State.
These are all first.
So yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't.
Yeah, hopefully you guys of their individual fan bases.
Yeah, don't be mad.
Don't be critical.
Don't be
about
upset
it,
about it. These young men are protecting their future,
their families, generational money.
Yeah, their body is their livelihood.
Sure.
And I mean, look at who was the linebacker for Notre Dame? Was it Jalen Smith?
Yeah, I think it was Jalen Smith for Dallas.
Yeah, he was going to be like a top 10 pick and blew his knee out in a bowl game and wound up dropping, I think, to the third round, and he even missed his whole rookie season.
Yeah,
So yeah, I get it. I mean, it's not worth the risk.
It's really not.
There's still some big names that haven't announced their intentions yet. Bryce Young and Will Anderson, still waiting to hear their decisions. I'm hoping they both opt out for a couple of reasons.
Sure.
I want to see. I think we talked about it last week. I want to see Ty Simpson. I want to see Jalen Milroe. When they know that don't look over the shoulder. You guys are auditioning for this job for next year.
It's your job. Go take it.
Couple of wideouts for Tennessee.
Yep.
Hyatt and Tillman. They haven't announced their intentions yet. So
I can't believe Tillman hasn't, because he's been
hurt anyway. And then, of course, Jalen Hyatt, who just won the Blendikoff award as the nation's best wide receiver.
He got hurt in the SEC championship game, didn't he?
I would imagine that these guys are going to opt out, but they haven't officially done it yet. So we'll see what happens there.
Right.
You mentioned the World Cup earlier. It's down to the Final Four. That's another one I almost toasted was Morocco, being the first African team.
Yeah, that was exciting. That was a good game.
Yep, first African team to make the semifinals. They'll get to play France because your boy Kane couldn't make a.
Oh, man, I know. I was mad at Harry Kane. I was mad at Kane, but I mean, what can you do?
Airmailed it.
Well, the goalie made a nice move at the last minute. England, I grew up in England, so I'm obviously a huge Three Lions fan. It's the English Premier League. I grew up on it. It's important to me. Soccer's been a big favorite sport of mine. Quietly in a closet, because in the South, it was frowned upon. But yeah, I'm a little. Man, England's just a choker in the World Cup. But they're young. They're young. Harry Kane.
It's like the old Clemson.
Yeah.
Or who else were you talking? Oh, USC or Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley.
The Lincoln Riley team. They just can't seal the big deal. And so England, like you said, they kind of choked a little bit. They're out.
They're good, man.
Of course, France is a good squad.
France is good, but man, England had so many good opportunities.
They
had so many good opportunities.
Gave that game away.
But they're young too. Harry Kane's only 28, I think.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he's 28, 27, something like that. Anyway, they're young. So
yeah. And then on the other side, you got Croatia going up against Messi and Argentina.
Right.
So should be a good Final Four. I think Morocco's kind of the little Cinderella that everybody's kind of rooting for.
Always a Cinderella team.
I guess
Morocco's
this matchup you could kind of call it David and Goliath. With Morocco going up against France, because France, they're a powerhouse. They were picked by most,
right?
To win it. So.
I like Argentina.
I would like to see Messi get it.
I like Argentina.
It's the only thing he's missing in his career.
Playing really good football.
So, I'm gonna give your boy some love. Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
And that was not. There was so many that I was gonna toast, but I had to narrow it down to just one. And so Griffey Jr. and the MLB are launching the HBCU Swingman Classic.
Swingman.
Yeah. So they're gonna, right around the time of the MLB All-Star Game, they're gonna have a showcase for 50 D1 baseball players from HBCUs, and
nice.
Put them out there and let them be seen, and let them get some scouting done, and so Yeah, that's a great gesture. Like I said, that was almost my opening toast for this week. And then of course also Aaron Judge finally signed.
Yeah,
the Yankees brought him back for $40 million a year over 9 years.
That's right.
So,
and we would be remiss not to talk about Alabama basketball.
Number 4,
big W, two number ones.
Yeah, took down 2 number ones, and they did it within 2 weeks, and it was like they said it was like the first time it had been done since like 1965. So yeah.
So if your football program is top 5 and your basketball program is top 5, stand up. If not, sit down. Are we a basketball school now?
No, we're a championship school.
We are a champion.
Hey, our women's soccer team was Final Four.
Final Four.
So yeah, good things happening over there where legends are made.
That's right, Coach Oates, man, you got them rolling. Yeah, we got such good length.
We need to lock. I told you that.
Good length, man, and our shooting was a little off.
Well, you know what I loved about that game was, they pulled away on us. Houston was up 15 points. Coach put in the 4 freshmen, Bradley, Griffin, Clowney, and Brandon Miller, and then he was rotating that 5th spot. So it was the 4 freshmen, really.
Miller was clutch down
He was terrible the whole game. Could not hit.
Who made all our free throws? Miller?
Miller, yeah.
Miller. He was clutch.
He had 1 point up until that point, and then he hit 6 straight.
Canned every free throw down the
That
stretch.
was clutch. That's clutch. That when you're having an off shooting night, if it gets in your head, you're gonna airball or you're gonna brick your free throws. And he showed his mental toughness by being clutch and making
only one
free throw.
Only one of them free throws hit the rim.
Oh, and it didn't even really clank bad.
Yeah. No, it was impressive. Yeah. Number 4, man. It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Coach Oates, you got them going, man. Keep them going. Keep them hungry.
Yeah, we need to get that man a nice contract and keep him. They're going to build a new arena.
Right.
And they also need to lock him up.
I'm not worried about a stepping stone job with him anymore. When he first came in and we had a little momentum early with recruiting. Yeah. I was kind of thinking, oh boy,
they're going to jump to a North Carolina
but I don't think so, man. Not given our resources, and
I think he's kind of building his own legacy. It's kind of like what Dabo has done at Clemson.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think he really enjoys it there. I think he likes, being able to sit down with Nick and I think he's becoming a better coach and motivator and all that kind of stuff because he has gets kicked, walk down the hallway and go talk to Nick.
The goat of resources for sure.
Yeah, no, he's doing a great job. And like I said, and speaking of Noah Clowney, he was 2nd week in a row SEC Freshman of the Week. So good things happening with Bama basketball.
Yeah, it's good.
Mills Lane, you know that name?
Oh yeah.
Another one that I could have toasted.
Yeah.
A legendary boxing referee.
Man.
Yeah. He passed away at 85.
We had a basketball coach pass away.
Yeah, Paul Silas.
Paul Silas.
He just
our
passed
local
away.
Charlotte area.
He was a Charlotte Hornet coach.
Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah. So, but no, Mills Lane. When I was kind of reading about him, it was few things that I found interesting. He did the Tyson Holyfield, where Tyson bit off his ear.
Bit his ear off. I remember.
So he did that. He was also, you remember Celebrity Deathmatch on MTV?
I do.
The little claymation.
I do.
He was the referee for that.
I remember that.
And he also, I didn't even know this, but he had his own court TV show called Judge Mills Lane.
Yeah, I do.
And it ran from 1998 to 2001. I think I vaguely remember it, but I don't think I ever watched an episode.
I mean, when I think of boxing outside of Muhammad and Tyson, I pretty much think of Mills Lane. Yeah. I mean, I can't help but picture that short little bald dude. You can't help but picture him. And his voice.
Hell yeah.
His voice was very distinct.
Yep.
For sure.
So yeah, Mills passed away at 85.
And in the local Charlotte market, and this is probably a name nobody, Jerry Valancourt. I listen to sports talk radio, WFNZ here in the Charlotte area. And Jerry Valancourt is like a guest. He was a local newscaster and a basketball coach. Just an incredible, awesome dude to listen to the way he spoke and the knowledge he had of basketball. He passed away here in the local market.
Okay.
And he was always, his little episodes on WFNZ was always fun to listen to.
All right. You got anything else you wanted to mention?
No, I don't think so, man. I think
we're right at about 35 minutes, 40 minutes.
I think we covered, we
covered a lot of stuff, and we kind of met our goal of keeping it short but sweet. I think that wraps up this episode.
Boom.
I did want to mention, be on the lookout. We're going to be doing a giveaway.
That's right.
Between now and Christmas, we hadn't decided what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be something nice.
It's going to be good. We don't believe in shitty swag.
So pay attention to our socials. Follow, like, and share, because that's what it's going to be based on, this giveaway.
Yeah, we're trying
to get our numbers up a little more.
Trying to get our numbers up, and we'll give back a lot more as we get those numbers up for sure.
Yeah. So follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple.
Yep. Smash that like button, man.
Right.
You gotta like our content and follow it. Follow it. TikToks especially.
Yep.
Email us, bourbonbuzzandballinpr@gmail.com.
That's right. Let us know what you think of the new format.
Yeah. Hopefully it fits more into your time frame. We try to definitely keep a little shorter segments so it's a little more accessible.
We're gonna keep refining and adding and taking away until we, get it right. Until we find exactly what we want it to be. So we're
not going away.
No.
I mean, our studio's free.
Well, kinda.
I mean,
one of us is paying for it.
He's paying for it. It's a house that Kolby built. This is Kolby's basement. We're in Kolby's basement for our studio. It's free. The only thing that costs us money is our bourbon.
Yeah, we're spending a lot of money on bourbon.
Lately, it's been him spending a lot of money, but I think that's mainly because he's greedy and wants to keep it.
I mean, if he buys a good one, he takes it home with him.
Well, it's my bourbon. If I leave it over here, it's gone before I get back.
Definitely. He can take the empty bottle back home with him.
And it's not just him now, mind you. But at any rate, we're not going anywhere.
That's right. So keep watching, keep listening, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers.